Hey guys, sorry about the cam. The last video we finished up clearing coves and we got to Caverns of Wrath, and I feel like this next portion of the video, which is going to be Caverns of Wrath, Caverns of Anger, and the Merveil fight, is probably one of the most difficult things to optimize for Act 1. Simply because it's very dependent on the mob density. The layouts can be kind of random. You can kind of see following the water. I'll try and explain it on the way, but it's kind of a lot of randomness. So yeah, I'll try and explain the best of my knowledge. As I explained in the previous video, you need a sapphire for Merveil and you need a ruby for, docks, plus ones, all that kind of stuff. You want to get level 11 in this zone, but you want to get through it quite efficiently so that you are level 11 like right as you reach the next zone. The way you do this is by following the water, right? That's the simplest thing to do. You just follow the water, try and stick to the water. That way you can always find the entrance to the next zone, and this also applies for the next stuff, right? Don't overdo it though, because sometimes it can get tricky, like you see here, the river is here. And I think, I'm not sure about this, but that lady typically indicates that you're on the right track, right? So we're in Caverns of Anger now, level 11. Pretty simple zone. You don't kill too much, simply because coves is much better for fire traps. So you don't kill too much, but you still want to be killing some mobs. Adding points doesn't really matter. The strength point a little bit, but you would be adding all of this on the way, right? Always try and speed up. Always do everything while running. And yeah, for this zone, you pick the worse coral ring, replace it with a ruby, and really what this boils down to is try and run through this zone without killing anything. It can be very difficult. You might be put in bad spaces. Exploders are dangerous, but you kind of have to do it. Like in situations like these, you're forced to kill things. Sometimes you can quicksilver past them, sometimes you can just run past them. It's difficult. It's not necessarily terrible to kill stuff, but it will save you time if you don't. Like right now, again, try and stick to the water, so I went the wrong way. I'm kind of unlucky here with with everything. She blocked me off, but this is essentially it. Like, you have to be very careful about getting blocked off. Oh no, I did go the right way. Wow, my bad. I thought that's gonna be a dead end, but you can get blocked off a lot, so this is a matter of practice. It took me very long to kind of optimize how to run past everything, but it's still quite difficult, and sometimes you just get RNG'd and you can't really do much, right? So yeah, rares are still not bad to kill, especially if there's two of them like that, right? This is just simple, and sometimes they drop good stuff like a large. This is a level 15 zone, so you can also get quartz out of this. It's pretty good. This is also kind of an indication that you're going the right way. I typically run past her, so that's very good. Again, stuff like that you don't want to be killing, and guess what? It's a corrupted zone. So that's unfortunate, but you have to be able to kind of foresee these things. I'm still not the best with these zones, so take it all with a grain of salt. But I hope you get the idea. Again, try and follow the river. Oops, that was a misclick. And yeah, once you see the gold, you're pretty much there. I got kind of unlucky, but altogether it was a pretty short zone, so this wasn't a bad time. So yeah, once you see the gold, you're at Merveil. On the way, you want to switch your ruby ring out for the sapphire. We only have one sapphire. We don't have any other resist, but it's a regular race, so we have 3 TPs. So okay, let's get into it. You wanna basically focus on Merveil. She's gonna do a couple attacks. She can melee you. She can do these, it's basically an ice spear attack. You wanna be waiting around for it and then attack, right? You wanna be, oh, that was a nice crit. You wanna be just constantly on her. Don't let her regen her, yes. Move around when you see that she's doing the swords, and yeah, she's gonna make the swords. The swords can do some damage to you, but it shouldn't hurt you too much, right? And like you can see, with the Sapphire, it doesn't do much damage. I mean, it does stun you, so be careful about that. If she swords you and then stuns you, you might be in trouble if she melees you. And also, a thing that she does is, at every 25%, she teleports to a different location. I think this is randomized, but I'm not exactly sure. But it applies for both phases, right? So that was really the tricky phase. This one is considered the easier one in my opinion. If you're playing Flame Blast, you just Flame Blast her down. Try and stay away from her. She will be making ads, so don't worry about your mana too much. Sometimes you go home, sometimes you don't. And you see 25%, she teleports. This is good because you can pre-prep with traps, however be careful because the geysers do destroy your traps, right? And if you run out of mana, she's not making any ads. I mean, unfortunate. It's not a big deal. Try and just keep it optimized. You know when your mana is running low. And again, she's gonna teleport. Right? There you go. Like, that's very important because sometimes you can overcharge your Flame Blast and then she teleports and you lose a lot of time because you've been charging this Flame Blast the entire time, right? So for stuff like this, again, boom, and she's gonna teleport. See? So I'm wasting time right now casting this because I knew she's gonna teleport. The geysers do destroy your traps. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, so you have to be careful about that. In the normal fight, she no longer makes the split ads, so that's really good. And yeah, she's down. Nothing too difficult. You have to be on the lookout for loot, especially since now you're gonna need the alterations. You're gonna need all of that stuff. So pick up your shabby jerkin. Pick up your, you know, other stuff that gives you alterations if you ID'd it. I don't have a lot of wisdom scrolls, but that's okay. And yeah, you can also of course wear a chest piece since movement speed doesn't matter too much. Also look for quartz scepters, look for any type of boots. Always in races look for blue boots, especially if you don't have movement speeds. We happen to have movement speeds, so yeah. I think I'm also gonna do Southern Forest just to get to the next zone. But yeah, the idea for Southern Forest is we're level 11. Sometimes you can be close to 12, like I am right now. And you kind of want to kill as much as possible. Obviously, don't overstay, but it's very important to get level 14 by the time you finish Riverways. So that way you have a chance of getting a quartz scepter out of the vendor if you don't find any. I really like that, and also I find it's really good to be level 15 for Since. It's just very optimal EXP, and since it's one of those zones that's very controllable in the way that you kind of know where to go, you kind of know what to get. Obviously you shouldn't be doing, like, essentially this is what you should be doing. Fire trap, just constantly fire trap like in any race. If you want to check out like regular gameplay, not guided, or well, a little bit guided, out of a race, I'll be posting those quite soon. Probably if you're watching this video, it's going to be up. So yeah. Try and kill a little bit. Level 13 is really important because at level 13 we get Trickery out of the Shadow Zone. So it's a very important level. Like here you see Trickery. 20 elemental damage is great because it boosts up everything. I didn't really get quite the XP that I wanted. I like to get like pretty much level 13, but this is all dependent. You can't control all these things. It's dependent on the mobs, on the type of mobs, all that kind of stuff. Your clear speed, kind of compared to others, because sometimes you have to, you know, alternate your run, but this is very high stuff, so I'm not really gonna get into it, maybe in the later video. And yeah, you know, you want as many sockets as possible, so we didn't get lucky. At this point you cannot get a quartz out of the vendor because you're too low level. So yeah, if you're 14 you can get it, but you won't be 14 at this point, and if you are, you have greatly over leveled. So I think in the next video we're going to be explaining probably riverways and crossroads waypoint, I think, because this stuff is very important and gives you a lot of very important basics for waypointing around and stuff like that. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope this was informative. If you have any questions, post them in the section below the video, and if you want to talk live, just go and tune into the live stream. The racing season is starting very, very soon, I believe in 2 days, so yeah, it's going to be mostly racing on the stream. So I think that's it. I'll see you guys around. Thanks for tuning in. Bye!